Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by SoundWave Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Me Emotions the Missing, available on Amazon, paperback and ebook, coming soon, Missing 2, double the expense, double the fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by A Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including 30 Exquisite Pains and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist, check it out, Amazon.com, keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also brought to you by Sunset Swing. Eric Diamond was latest release All of Me, featuring the title track I've Got No Heartache, Bring Me Sunshine and More. EricDiamonMusic.com. Follow on YouTube, Spotify, and Facebook, and more. We're hearing an amazing multi-talented singer, songwriter with a background in paramedic, firefighter, policeman, chiropractor, investigator, cattle rancher, and more. He's had an amazing career. Born and raised in Missouri, and he worked in Nashville at one point. Also, he's been featured in the United States, United Kingdom, also in Australia and New Zealand, and also in Canada as well, too. And the loyal following, Spotify, YouTube, and more. Live, ladies and gentlemen, Plus Studios somewhere in Central Missouri. The amazing multi-talented singer, songwriter, and will be featuring one of his amazing hits. We have Howard Levinson. Howard, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Mike. Thanks for having me on.
Well, it's great to have you on board, Howard. So you're a multi-talented singer, songwriter. With being born and raised in Missouri, you have a background as a paramedic, firefighter, policeman, chiropractor, investigator, cattle rancher, and more. You were born and raised in Missouri, and you also been featured in the United States, United Kingdom, also in Australia, and also Canada, and good portions of the world, and loyal following Spotify, YouTube, and more. And you had some music like On the Edge, With You, and more. We'll be featuring the song called What the Hell is Happening for Gunnar Howard. Tell us how you first got started.
Okay, so, well,
way back, Machine Howard, way back.
Oh, we're going way back. Well,
way back.
I guess back when I was a teenager, I listened to a lot of the music on the radio back in the days when the Beatles came across, and the Stones, and picked up a guitar, started playing guitar. I've been in bands since I was in junior high, and just eventually started. I wrote my first song, I think, when I was about 13 or 14.
Okay.
And I've been writing ever since, and over the years, I've changed genres. I've gone from kind of like folky to really rock to punk rock. And now over the last 10 or so years, I've just pretty much focused on country.
Okay. Sounds like you had an amazing array as well, too. And was it one precise moment that exactly influenced you into what you do in the rest of your career?
As far as music, you're talking about that?
I mean, just your career. It's like, what's that one light bulb moment that simply said, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life?
Oh, I've done, well, like you said in the intro, I've done so many things that the music, I have been doing that all the time, despite whether I was a medic or a cop or an investigator. I always played music, always in a band or always playing solo or something. And always, as I became, older, a little bit older, an adult, I was writing too. So, I'd be working a day job or nights, depending on whatever public safety sector I'd be working in. I'm still writing music, playing my guitar.
That is certainly amazing. And besides the Beatles and the Stones you were listening to, who are some of my other favorite singers, songwriters, and musicians growing up?
I'm a big fan of Tom Petty, Eagles, Poco. I like, the kind of country rockish back from the 70s and 80s.
I remember Poco. They're terrific.
Terrific band. Bob Seger. I am kind of influenced by Lou Reed. I don't know if you're familiar with who Lou Reed is. It goes back into the 60s and 70s, but
right, Walk on the Wild Side. I remember that.
Yeah, that was probably his only like really commercial song. But he was kind of like, along the lines of a very dark Bob Dylan, because he was very poetic and he hung out in the day. Had a band called the Velvet Underground, and they hung around with.
I remember that.
Andy,
that and John and was it John Cale or JJ
John
Cale? I remember
yeah,
that.
they kind of were hanging around in the factory with Andy Warhol, that whole crowd. But him and and for several years, I would really liked Iggy Pop. I don't know if you're familiar with Iggy and the Stooges, and I had a
Correct.
band.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. And I read I read a thing about as well too. David Bowie is known to be a master number of things that evolutionized the beginning of this. That was
Mhm.
that the the story I was reading about David Bowie that Iggy Pop was more like an alternative David Bowie. So in reality, it's like that was really David Bowie. It's just more like an alter ego.
Yeah, they collaborated some stuff, and of course Lou Reed's dead and Bowie's dead, but Iggy Pop, despite what he used to do on stage, is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
anyway,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, transforming, making people his image and everything. So certainly one of the best in business as well, too. Of course, you being a paramedic, firefighter, policeman, all that. Which one of these careers you started first, and then you can just work your way over to what careers you've been doing as well.
I started out as a paramedic and became friends with a lot of cops and became a cop, and I was a cop for 22 years. And transitioned to corporate investigations for another 15 and then retired and started raising cattle in the country.
Okay, and what was that moment that you wanted to be a paramedic, then shifting over to being a policeman?
Well, a lot of my friends were cops, and I was young, and at this point, I look back and thinking maybe that was dumb, but it seemed like we were responding after the fact, after the shit had hit the fan, and I was young and like man, I want to be there when the shit hits the fan, and so that's when I transitioned into being a cop and ended up, whether it was a good move or not, I mean, it certainly, all those careers have offered a pretty wide palette from which to draw material for songs. So, and, when I was working a lot of law enforcement, paramedic stuff, a lot of my songs were more dark and had, experiences that happened around those activities. And now that I'm kind of mellow and doing country stuff, it's a lot easier, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak.
It sounds like it too. And what was that one event that really stood out in your mind too, like it being a policeman, paramedic, firefighter, or whatever it is, like investigator. What are some of the things that you're involved in that really stood out? Exciting, tragic, or maybe a little bit of humor and everything. So.
Well, I mean, I was fortunate enough over my career to be assigned a bunch of task force cases at the state and federal level. So I was a member of a homicide squad, and then I was a member of a DEA task force and working with alcohol ATF. And then after 9/11, I was on some terrorism task forces. So I guess when the rubber hits the road, I have to say that. I saw a lot of interesting and things probably better left unseen, you know, for for your psychological health, so to speak. But,
Mm-hmm.
so you deal with it, and some of that stuff came out in music, it's
Mm-hmm.
cathartic.
Right. And of course, you had some songs too, like On the Edge, With You, Everybody Wants Something. I wasn't always like this. And one of them will be talking about near the end of the show at Howard Levinson. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking budget, SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love me to first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson Zia has garnered great reviews. An evil of an endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon. Coming soon, Missing 2 by Mia Molson Zia, double the suspense, double the fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including 30 exquisite paintings and King David's Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives a new perspective of David through the Psalms he wrote, and it's the time of shepherd where it started, and complicated yet turbulent relationship with King Saul. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, hope, and more. Check out The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also brought to you by Sensei Swing. Eric Demon's latest release, All of Me, featuring the title track, I've Got a Heartache, Bring Me Sunshine, and more. Eric's a multi-award winning artist, inducted numerous Hall of Fames. Album Entertainer of the Year. He'll be releasing a new CD soon. Check out the amazing Eric Dime today, ericdimemusic.com. Follow on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and all platforms worldwide. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, 40 podcast platforms, heard in 100 countries. Take us with you on any mobile device. Follow us on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and also on the platforms, Spotify, YouTube, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, and more, as well on BitChute and Rumble. And for great gift ideas like t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, Amazon.com, keywords, the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/me and Molson Zia. Great books, merchandise, and more. And support us on Anchor FM to PayPal and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're an amazing multi-talented singer, songwriter with a background in paramedic, firefighter, policeman, and more. All kinds of experiences. Howard Levinson here on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we talk about your latest release, what the hell is happening, we'll be playing the audio version at the end of the interview. We encourage all you to tune to that. You got some music out there like On the Edge, With You, and Everybody Wants Something. And tell us more about those and what inspired you to write them.
Those are some of the more recent songs I've written. With You is it's kind of it's a spiritual song. I've got a few songs in the spiritual genre, and that one's With You I Win. It's about redemption, and you can plug in whatever you choose to be you. Whether it's God, Jesus, Mohammed, whoever strikes your fancy as your
Right.
guy. That's the
Mm-hmm.
you in that song. So, On the Edge was a little song I wrote during COVID, and everybody was pissed off about everything back then. So I wrote,
Oh, yeah. That was just unbelievable. Oh, my
yeah,
God.
yeah, it
Yes.
was a mess. So I wrote a song about a guy that's pissed off. He wasn't pissed off about COVID, just generally pissed off, and he ends up, going on the run and on the edge. So anyway, just a
Mm-hmm.
couple. Those are a couple more of the recent songs I've written.
And plus, you also have another one too called "I Wasn't Always Like This." You've got your more popular ones like "Still Small Voice" and "Trucks, Guns, Girls, Money, and Beer." Tell us more about that.
Well, that's it's a bro country song, and it's just kind of like about your favorite things. So if you're a bro country guy, trucks, guns, girls, money, and beer, and then because I've got this background that we talked about, I kind of threw a twist in there to where there's also kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde spin to it, to where
Oh yeah,
you
that's right.
you may like trucks, guns, girls, money, and beer, but they're on the run too.
Right. And plus, you've got everybody's got their own version of God. Cut One, We All Bleed, and Go Fast on Saturday Night. And tell us more about those.
Let's see. Go Fast on Saturday Night. That's a NASCAR song, about a kid who builds a race car and all he wants to do is drive fast. So he wants to go fast on Saturday night. And if you're a gearhead, that song's for you because we talk about pistons and rings and setting the heads on the car and things like that. Um, I wasn't always like this. I chatted up, like I'm sure you guys have by you. There's corners where there are people panhandling, and a lot of them have cardboard signs that say, homeless veteran will work for food,
I
God bless.
see those all the time, especially on I-94. If you're heading towards Fargo, if you're going east, or if you're going west towards Billings, I see that a lot. Yes, and
Yeah.
it's
So
sad.
we got some here around in Missouri, and I chatted up one of those guys, and we got to talking, and I asked him, what was your MOS, military occupation, just to make sure he wasn't scamming me. And he knew, and he was an infantryman, and we talked, and he's homeless, and he said, I wasn't always like this, man. I made a house and family and kids, and he had the typical story where multiple deployments and the VA, gave him pills, but not enough counseling. And he
Mm-hmm.
lost his house, lost his wife and kids, and, he's on the corner. So I wrote a song kind of dedicated to those guys saying, I wasn't always like this. I was somebody just like you too. So, I dedicated to those guys, especially when I play it out loud, play it
Right,
live.
yeah, and plus you also got and Also, I'm a sinner, you're a saint, and everything I like is killing me. And tell us about that one.
Well, if you got vices and bad habits, more than likely you like your vices and bad habits, and more than likely they're not good for you. And if you overdo them, they will probably kill you at some point. So I wrote a little country ditty that's just a humorous little song about, hey man, everything I like is killing me. And at the end, the guy's going up to St. Peter, and St. Peter's asking him, what are you doing here? And he says, well, everything I like killed me. You know,
I think there's a big laundry list on that one and what kills you and everything. If I made up a list, I'd be in serious trouble.
yeah, yeah, we all do. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And of course, you have another one too that it's now that you're gone, I'm going to town, and tell us about that one.
I just was on a little motorcycle ride to Sturgis, South Dakota, and was at a campfire and talking to this lady at the campfire, and she was telling me how her husband died. And I said, I'm sorry to hear that. And then she said, he died, and I went to the doctor and I got off my blood pressure medicine. And I said, well, that's good, and you're getting healthier, I guess. And then she said, and since he's died, I've been going to town. Since he's been gone, I've been going to town. So I thought, man, that sounds like a hook line to the song. Now that you're gone, I'm going to town. So on my way back from Sturgis, every time we stop and get gas or beer or something, I'd take me out a little piece of paper and write a lyric down. By the time I got back to Missouri, I had a lot of the song done, went to finished it up, went to Nashville, recorded it, and since it's a girl talking about now that you're gone, I'm going to town, I had a girl singer. So if you pick it up on Spotify, it's not me singing, it's a girl singer out in Nashville, but it's just her story about, hey, now that you're gone, I'm going to town.
Or it could be a good thing or a bad thing. What do you think on that one? Maybe subject to interpretation or experiences.
It's a good thing for her, it's kind of a bad thing for the guy. The reason why he's gone, I won't be a spoiler as to what happens to him, but anyway.
Right, exactly. And of course, it leads up to the song we're going to play on the Mike Wagner Show at the end of the audio interview. What the hell is happening? We'll get to that in 1 minute with Howard Levinson. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Songwriter Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's Missing, the Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including 30 exquisite paintings and King David Psalms, Amazon.com, keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner, and the Sensei Swing, Eric Diamond with All of Me, title track, and more. EricDiamondMusic.com. We'll be back to multi-talented Howard Levinson after this timeout. We're back with the multi-talented singer-songwriter Howard Levinson out of Central Missouri here on the Mike Wagner Show. And let's talk about the song we're going to play at the end of the audio interview. What the hell is happening? And tell us more about that. Basically, my question is, what the hell is happening?
Well, it's kind of a bro guy song, and it started when I was hanging around with the same group of guys for the last 30 years. We all ride motorcycles and stuff, and most of the guys have been through a divorce, and one had to go to court, and he kind of got, he got what he got in court. It didn't work out so well for him, so he walks out, and we're sitting around having a beer, and he goes, man, I don't know what the hell is happening, but and I figured, man, that's kind of fodder for a song. So I wrote a song about what happens to a guy. He ain't the greatest guy, so maybe he's getting what he deserves, but it's what the hell happened to him.
Exactly. And I have to say, that's what's going on with the world today and everything. If there's other music we haven't covered, feel free to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of as I get older, I change genres. Like I said earlier, I've been writing a few more spiritually based songs, and not so many bro country stuff. So right now I'm working on a song now called "All Fall Down," in which basically we all fall down, we all make mistakes, and
Right.
I got another one I'm working on where. Um, it's a it's actually based on a song that happened in my real life with my mom. I didn't know my mom for many, many years until I was a teenager. I didn't even know she had a first husband. Well,
Huh.
she had a first husband that got killed in World War II and before she married my dad.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I'm writing a song now about that called First Love, like a secret first love. So it's kind of like getting away kind of from the bro country stuff and moving into a little mellower, more type genre.
Okay. Well, that sounds like an amazing array of music out there. And where can we find all your music at, Howard?
Well, like you said earlier, it's everything's on Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff, Apple Music, and but you can check out howardlevinson.net. I've got songs, got pics, some video. Howardlevinson.net is my website. So,
Okay. All right. Well, certainly check that out. We encourage everybody to do that. We're here with the multi-talented Howard Levinson of What the Hell is Happening Here on the Mike Wagner Show and more. And just a few more things, Howard. What else can we expect in 2025 and beyond?
well, I'm going to do some more recording. Probably go to Nashville, record a few more songs. I'm fairly busy gigging here in Missouri, playing at least probably 5 shows a month, maybe more, depending on like in the summertime more. So it'll be recording and playing gigs and writing songs.
Okay. We're certainly looking for that, Howard. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Uh, Probably Hank,
Okay.
probably Hank Senior and Hank Junior, I guess. I mean, as far as in the country genre, those two guys.
And certainly the best in the business. What's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Well, if you're a songwriter, write, if you're a singer, sing, and if you play trumpet, and if you're a novelist, write.
And I think that's a really good idea as well, too. With the amazing multi-talented Howard Levinson of What the Hell is Happening Here on the Mike Wagner Show. Howard, very big thanks for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Live have you back. And what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your music?
It's all howardlevinson.net. And then, of course, all the streaming sites.
All right, we'll certainly check that out. Once again, Howard, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Live have you back. We wish you all best. And Howard, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you, Mike. You too.